welcome to our final weekly mailing of this term. And it's been an incredible term, and I really encourage you to have a good look through the mailing for the videos, the photos, the stories of so much that has happened. It's a great way to get a flavour of all that your sons and daughters are doing. I would just like to take a few minutes, if I may, just to point you in the direction of a couple of things. So firstly, the reports that are in your inboxes, please do take time to read those. Partly on behalf of my colleagues who spent a lot of time really thinking and curating those comments to be as helpful as possible, but also to really benefit your sons and daughters with fantastic advice and tips about how to improve. My recommendation would be you might want to have a beginning of a holiday and an end of holiday cup of coffee with your son or daughter, just to look at, what on this has gone well, let's have a look at it, and then just at the start of the next term, just sit down maybe on the return home or whatever that might be, to look at the things that you've agreed to do. The second thing to look for is particularly aimed at fifth form and upper sixth parents, so those who have sons and daughters with trial exams just after Christmas. I cannot say enough about how important this particular season is to rehearse everything and to do that with the lines learned as much as possible. So revision is going to be key over this holiday period. Just a few things, a piece of advice really, which come from me as a parent, having been through this a number of times, but also as a teacher, and learning from colleagues as well. So if you can create notification-free spaces where your revision is not going to be interrupted by pop-ups on the phone or on a laptop or on an Apple device, that's going to be absolutely key, because that concentration is going to be disturbed every single moment otherwise. A few other things you might want to have ready. No, you can't watch Friends and revise at the same time. Those two things don't go together. It's not just about the subjects you're studying at A-level and the ones that you enjoy. And you do need to do some work in the morning. All of those things I offer you as gifts, and please do say they're quotes from me if that's helpful for you. The third element is around girls' skirts. It's a topic we come back to time and again. And I would just really ask that you don't adjust skirts at home to tailor-make them to a particular length. That length isn't always conducive with going up and down some of our staircases, and we've had a couple of issues, or just young women feeling uncomfortable in those spaces, and we certainly don't want that to be the case. So the skirt length that is recommended is entirely appropriate and safe for school, and we'd love to stick to that as much as possible. We will be bringing in a new option for Year 9 pupils next year, so that's next year's new joiners. But for everybody who's currently in the school, in the lower school, we're going to be having, again, just a focus on the conversation. So they're not so much rolled up now, but they've been tailored and adjusted, and that makes life quite difficult for us here. So your help on that is much appreciated. I know that you're under pressure sometimes, and if we can help in that conversation, please do reach out. And then as we head into Christmas, I'm just very aware that different families are arriving at this place from different places. Some of our families live in really difficult parts of the world. So we've got families in Ukraine, families in the Middle East. And one of the things that our marketing department finds slightly frustrating about me is that I always wear a yellow tie and a blue shirt, which means that the only difference between photographs is just how far my hair has gone back on my head. But the reason I do it is that for over 1,000 days now, Ukraine has been in a situation of significant conflict and hardship. And it just helps me on a personal level when I get up in the morning to remind myself of those people when they drop off the news cycle. And I find that really helpful. And at Christmas time, I really want to say that we as a school, a community, are thinking of any families that are having a really difficult time right now. Maybe you've suffered loss, or difficult illness in your family. Maybe relationships are challenging, and we know that we have those situations across our community. So wherever you are celebrating Christmas, we hope you can celebrate, and we want to wish you a happy Christmas and a very peaceful 2025.